for today, I'm going to present you an activity that is for bilingual students and for teachers being able to have a little bit more fun, regular, worksheets that nobody likes. If you thought Spanish and English were completely different languages, well, today you're going to be surprised. This activity is normally for a child between the age of 6 years old to 8 years old that it's able to write already and to read and obviously understand what he writes. So the first thing we need to do is materials. Materials are very simple. Oranges, avocado, chocolates, plants, container, um, paper, markers. Markers are different colors. I would like to show you that the markers, I have a purple just because I like purple and I'm gonna write with it. Brown for the chocolate, green, darker green for avocado, yellow for mandarins or oranges, black for the container, and light green for plants. So today I'm going to show you a really fun activity in which children will be able to learn by association. I myself, a bilingual student, can tell you that relate with words and things that we see day by day are key to learn new language. If you're not able to relate words and to relate objects, then you're not able to learn. At least in my case, that's definitely something that I haven't. So basically, I'm gonna show you a list of things in which Spanish language and English language are very similar. The first thing, chocolate. In Spanish, chocolate. You write it down the same way. For the green, avocado. Avocado or aguacate. Mandarin, mandarinas. Container, contenedor. Plant, plantas. Very, very similar, very simple. The object is to find things at home like I did, like you could find, chocolate, everyone have chocolate at home. Um, this simple, you know, things you can find it anywhere. And you're going to teach um, relatable things that a child will eat, a child will see in the classroom where they're learning vegetables, fruits, or plants, what everyone can see in the park, and things that are relatable to the child. Now, this activity is basically, it's very simple. You're going to let the person choose. In this case, it's going to be my imaginary friend, or actually I could use my virtual child, Chachito. Chachito is going to be sitting over here and he's going to be able to choose an item, and I'm going to tell him the item. He's going to be able to tell me the item in English, obviously, and I'm going to ask them, do you think in Spanish is very different and complicated for you, or vice versa? If you have a child that speaks Spanish, we'll know this already, what is in Spanish, and I could tell them, hey, do you think this in English is very complicated or it's gonna be an easy thing to do? So from there, I can start with something they like, which is chocolate. Who does not like chocolate? I love chocolate. And so Chachito would choose a chocolate, right? He would choose a chocolate, put it right next to him, write it down in the language he knows, and brown. Okay, in this case, I will put it in Spanish. Chocolate. Okay, with the same color. I'm gonna show them how to write chocolate, which is exactly the same thing. And I'm gonna ask them to point me the difference in writing and see what things are different. What do you think whenever you're writing is different? And in this case, Chachito will tell me, well, nothing is different. Chocolate is exactly the same, chocolate, in Spanish. So then I'm gonna tell him, well, that was easy, right? They are some things that you pronounce different in Spanish, that you pronounce different in English, as chocolate and chocolate. Even though they spell the same way, you have a different pronunciation, and that's what we want to accomplish. We want to accomplish that they figure it out, that English and Spanish maybe not different, but maybe a little bit more fun to understand it whenever they have the concept and the writing of it. Okay, then after that, I'm going to do the same thing for each item. I'm gonna tell him, okay, Chachito, choose your next item. Or I'm gonna tell, okay, Chachito, escoge la siguiente cosa que quieres agarrar. And then he will choose an item. Let's suppose that he choose and Mandarin. I know this one's a little thick for mandarins, but Mandarin. And so I'm gonna ask him to write in the language that he feels more comfortable with, to write what is it. So in this case, Chachito is a Spanish speaker, and he's gonna do mandarina. Yeah, and then after that, he'll have to write. I will show him how to write Mandarin. And so then after that, I will ask him to do the difference of which is writing down in Spanish and English. And it will tell me, you know what, this at the end is different than this at the end. And I say, yeah, but the rest of it is exactly the same, isn't it? And he will be like, yeah, the other one is exactly the same thing. They are very similar, isn't it? And now you think mandarina. If I change the last word of it, the last part of it, Mandarin, mandarina, Mandarin. So they're relatable words in which Chachito can find what are the things to relate, right? And then from there, I'll go to the next item, and I'll ask him to choose what we'd like to choose. Chachito will choose a plant, and I'm gonna tell you, Chachito, write down this item over here, and he's gonna write it down, planta. And I'm gonna show him how to write planta in English, which is plant. And then I'm gonna show him what are the difference between these two. They're very huge difference, or it's very similar word and it means the same thing. So you have planta and plant. You're just missing an A basically, right? You're just missing the A. So now every time you think about planta, just squish the A. Say plant, 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 right? So we close in a circle the items that are different and the things that he would like to use for him to be able to remember this word later on. Next item will be Chochito choosing container. And even though it's a big word, it's kind of like an easy word. For container, we use black because obviously I don't have a white marker. And in white paper would be not very good. Okay, so now we're gonna, because Chochito speaks Spanish and a Spanish speaker, he will write down contenedor. And then I'm gonna show him how to write container. Container. Contenedor and container. They are, it's getting a little more difficult to say, but even though container is a very similar word, contenedor, whenever you see the changes, you can see that that's all the similar things. And then einer or enedor, they're the differences. So he has a way to relate words to see the similar things and the ones that are different. Find something related for you and remember the word that you're looking for. Container, contenedor. You kind of relate those words. Now, last but not least, el aguacate. So Chochito will choose the avocado, and he will write it down in the language that he feels more comfortable. And like I said before, Chochito is a Spanish speaker, so he will write it down. Aguacate. And the second will be avocado. Now you see that the level is getting a little bit harder and harder and harder because aguacate and avocado, they only have the A and the first part that they look the same. And the rest of the word, it's a little bit more complicated. So you presented something easy to encourage Chachito to keep going with your game. But at the same time, you presented obstacles because not all the words are going to be the same. But you're presenting him like a game in which he feels comfortable and learn easily. So, aguacate and avocado. Even though they only have the AA, whenever you see it, you know, hey, can you pass me an avocado? You think, avocado, avocado. Then you can relate to aguacate. So you have one letter to get similar things. And you also have the color that represents something green that you're learning to it. And you're like, okay, avocados are green. So aguacates son verdes. And I remember writing down green. So you are not only relating for the words, but for the colors as well. This activity, I believe, will be very fun because, first of all, the child is able to learn to write down things and in color, using different colors, which colors, believe it or not, will stick in their head more often than just a regular sheet in which they can just like cross one thing to another and relate to things. And having the object, let the kid, let Chachito analyze the fruit, seeing what it is, let him touch it, No play obviously with them, but throw it or anything like that. But let them see it. Let us see what it is. Let it analyze what it is touching. Also, the same thing with the mandarin. The same thing with the container. Reminding the containers are going to be many shapes and forms. Plants are going to be in different shapes and forms. Obviously, if you have different kind of plants, I mean, that would be great. You can show them, look, they're different kind of plants. Hay muchas clases de plantas diferentes. You can remind them that chocolate also comes in different things and different, you know, but chocolate normally it's brown, which is very good, or white chocolate, I mean. But my activity, the heart of my activity is to be able to to find a connection for students that only speak Spanish to learn English. Through this process, myself included, because I came here when I was 18, and I had to find things to relate to. And even though they're kind of silly stuff that you can find at home, they're very important because they're gonna things they're going to remember, and then later on they're gonna go see to different places in school. Hey, somebody learn Mandarin. Oh, I know una mandarina. I know how you say that in English. Un mandarin is una mandarina. You know, una mandarina is Mandarin. So I know how to say it. So there are different ways that the child will relate, but a good experience always help the child learning faster because it feels happy doing it and your serotonin is flowing and everything is rolling. And so I think this is a great way to teaching. Very simple. You just need your markers, a few fruits, some chocolate, container, and some plants you have at home. You can do it at home, in school, and I mean pretty much everything is eatable. So by the end of by the end of by the end of this activity, you can give some chocolate to them. They will be more than happy, even learning faster than chocolate. So that will be it for my activity. It's very simple, very easy, very interesting, as you can teach the child, in this case Chochito, that English and Spanish are no such a different language. We have a similar abecedario, the ABCs, same, just lacking a few letters, which are the CH, the che, or the ñ, the N with a little hat on top of it. But from there on, very, very similar. And whenever we speak to science, we have even more words because a lot of scientific words start in Latin. And obviously Latin comes from Spanish. English also have a lot of Latin words. So that will be for today. I hope you will enjoy and you will put it in practice. As remember that the child that has a bilingual encounter at young age, it's better. It's greater their creativity. They have a better way to communicate and socialize with others. And remember that through school, these children are going to learn different things, but if they're able to connect with society, learning a new different language, it will be much better for them to be able to accomplish their dream jobs or the things that they want to do in life. So to me, bilingualism is an excellent way to teach others about kindness and teach patience and teach love for what we do, teachers, students. And that'll be all. I hope you have fun, because I did.